In the Stone Age they needed to dive underwater. How to make an oxygen cylinder. First, they stripped the exhaust pipe off a car. Then they welded every gap shut, making it just strong enough to hold around 100 atmospheres of pressure. Next, using parts salvaged from a test vehicle, they built a simple hand-powered piston pump. Then they started pumping air into the tank. At first, it wasn't too bad, but by the time they hit 10 atmospheres, they were pushing with everything they had. And once it reached 50 atmospheres, even 4 grown men couldn't hold the pump down. According to Senku's calculations, filling just one oxygen tank would take a full 5 hours of pumping. Then, with a massive bang, the pump exploded from the pressure, but the oxygen tank itself came out completely unharmed. It turned out Senku was building the oxygen tank to rescue Kaseki, who was fossilized at the bottom of the sea. They needed him to craft precision parts for their next invention, but the water pressure down there was intense, way too much for a normal person to handle for that long. That's exactly why Senku decided to build the tank in the first place. Soon, the underwater salvage operation got underway. The catch was, the oxygen tank could only last 10 minutes. The two of them had to pull Kaseki up before time ran out. That's when Soyuz suddenly realized, after being thrown into the water, the stone statue might have been swept away by an underwater current, so the two of them started searching. Eventually, they found the fossilized allies that the enemies had dumped down there. Soyuz sent up a signal, 3 air bubbles rising to the surface. Senku knew then that all their friends had been found, but down below, the two divers hit a serious problem. Kaseki's stone statue had been buried under the mud, and they couldn't pull it free no matter what. Up on the boat, the crew started to worry. Senku calculated the breathing rate and figured out they had about 4 minutes of oxygen left. Hearing the situation, Ryujui decided to take a gamble. He started swinging the rope in a steady, rhythmic pattern. Asajiri immediately picked up on it, recognizing it as Morse code. After decoding the message, she learned that Ryujui needed the revival fluid. Senku didn't hesitate and dropped it down. Once Ryujui had it in hand, he swam straight to Taiju without a second thought, because that's where his strength was at its peak. But Soyuz was worried the revival fluid wouldn't work underwater, so Ryujui aimed the oxygen tube directly at Taiju, creating a small pocket of air around him. Just as he was about to use the revival fluid, he noticed that one of Taiju's arms had broken off. Luckily, at the last possible second, Soyuz caught it and lined it back up perfectly. With the two of them working together like a well-oiled machine, Taiju was successfully revived. Finally, with everyone pulling together, they managed to bring Kaseki up to the surface, but almost immediately, a new problem came up. There was a chunk missing from Kaseki's back. The revival fluid could heal wounds, but it would leave a permanent scar. Fortunately, Taiju eventually found the missing piece. Senku wasted no time and poured the revival fluid over it. In an instant, a golden light spread across Kaseki's entire body. As the first primitive man to have ever been petrified, Kaseki came back to life. The old man was overwhelmed with emotion after waking up, but Senku's real reason for reviving Kaseki was to build a drone.